Yes, sir. YouTube, Low Yard Gang, podcast listeners all over the globe, guys. Welcome to a brand spanking new episode of Cap and Crown, episode 10. No PJ Armstrong. Listen, man, we are back with a brand spanking new one for your head top. Y'all already know. Listen, if you're into NBA content, do us a huge favor, man. Hit that subscribe button, man. Join us here for all NBA conversations, whether it be new or old. And also, to everybody, man, hit them likes, man. Help us build that algorithm up, man. We're still trying to work on that algorithm. We're still trying to work on it for it to be familiar with us. We definitely could use your help to get there by hitting that like button, y'all. That would definitely be much appreciated. But listen, man, we got a good one for y'all. We got a special guest in the building, man. Danny Green made an interesting comment I wanted to get these guys' opinions on. And I got this jersey on for a reason, man. Shout out to the great Larry Bird, man. Somebody made some idiotic comments, man. They're gonna have to pause on that. We're gonna get on that here today too. But King, you ready to get to it, man?
I am, bro. Let's do this.
All right, man. But before we start, man, let's bring our guest up, man. Let's do it. I thought it was somebody else, man. I didn't know it was this guy. I thought it was somebody else. I didn't know it was this guy. What up, Freezie?
What up, Freezie?
Salute, everybody. How y'all?
I say, man, as long as you don't come here with all that cussing, man, we good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, we appreciate you, man, joining us here today, man, for another episode. Got a lot to get into, guys, so let's go ahead and get to it, man. So y'all know how we start the show off, man. We always got to remind people out there, man, that we were told some things.
I was told.
What did Danny Green say, King?
Draft lottery selection?
Sometimes. I mean, it's interesting. The suitcases are interesting. It's fun. We talked about this off air. I think it'd be more interesting to see the teams play for the top
I love
spot.
that idea.
You know, you make them care. You know, top teams that play, so the bottom teams, I guess, play kind of during the playing time.
Yeah.
It'll be a good, fun fought battle between the lower seeded teams.
So basically like a play-in, but
yeah, the ping pong balls, people are starting not to believe it now. You know, Brian went on air, talked about how, it might be a little bit, I guess pushed to certain cities for certain players.
Okay.
So I want to see, some teams, fight it out.
Yeah, like Danny said, I would love to see them play games. I think it'd be more exciting. Nobody want to see the ping pong ball go like this and see who gets the picks.
Caucus, New Jersey.
And then you look at it, you see who win the tiebreaker. Like, come on, Lakers win the tiebreaker against those. Like,
yeah,
it makes you all.
It's sad to see some of those teams up there. Even Phoenix shouldn't be like those teams should be playing. And some of those teams are in the playoffs right now, so it's like
I know
they win in tiebreaker. So you just stimulate about it, but I think they should be able to play games and see if you really want to have the number one spot, the number two spot, and see what really goes on.
Once again, that draft.
Okay. So Danny Green was suggesting that maybe instead of people just kind of like tanking and getting high draft picks, why don't y'all play for it? Play for that number one pick. I want to get y'all opinion on that. What you think, Freezie, man? You think that'd be a good idea, man?
In the sense that it'll get rid of the lack of competitive balance throughout the season from game 65 through 82 or whatever. I think that's a great idea. But we also have to remember in that sense is that the lottery is there for a reason, right? The reason why they do a lottery is because the team is so bad that they're not competitive. Mm-hmm. And if you put them in a more competitive situation, does that make that team more competitive with the same roster? Nah, because if they were the 30th best team during the regular season, even if they cared more, they would still be the 30th best team, even if you put them in a tournament. That means they'd be the worst team. So that way you'll be in theory punishing them, right, with a tournament because now they don't even get a chance at the number one pick with the worst roster. So in theory, what he's saying is, if you want to get rid of the teams that probably shouldn't be top 5 in the lottery, like the teams that's on the fringe of making the playoffs, barely missed it. They know they can't make it. They know they can't make the play-in, so they tank the rest of the season. So in theory, it affects them, right? Because they have enough talent to be competitive for the play-in. But the teams that are 30th, they're not going to win in the preseason, the regular season, the in-season tournament, the lottery turn. They're not going to win because they're the 30th best team or the worst team in the league. So in theory, I agree with them, right? But then I think it also defeats the purpose of having a lottery. You have a lottery because you don't want, because remember when teams missed the playoffs? Say if a team missed the playoff by one game, there was a chance that they could get the number one pick. That's the reason why the lottery is in place, because you don't want a team like the Phoenix Suns this year, the number one pick, and they have KD, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. So that's why the lottery is in place. So I think it's a smart idea, but at the same time, how do you protect the teams that are just bad? Say their best player left. Say for instance, say there's a world where a generational, once in a million type player is a franchise player for a team, and he leaves via free agency or he's traded for a bunch of paycheck getting veterans, right? And instead of that team getting the number one pick, they get in this tournament and then they keep losing. And so they never get the opportunity to get that generational talent to help them out of the doldrums.
Okay. What you think, King?
I basically agree with him. Well, tell you the truth from the get-go, it sounds like Danny Green trying to help out teams like Phoenix. Like I don't get how this would help, kind of like what Freezie was saying. Like, if you're bad, you aren't supposed to win. Why would you have a game for somebody to win to get the number one draft pick? Like, if that's the case, then I would tank. If I had a good enough team and I felt like, I wasn't, good enough to win a championship or something like that, I'm like, all right, guys.
But I know I can beat the Wizards.
Yeah, but I know I can beat those guys. You feel me? I'm good enough, but not good enough. I'm stuck in like mediocrity or whatever like that. Like, I would definitely tank. And then if I had to play for the number one pick, I would play for the number one pick. So I don't think that's the best way to fix it. I don't think you're ever going to fix it. That's just my thing. Like, when you lose, you're trying to get a better player. And it's not like every time. It's been tanking going on for I don't know how many years now. And just because you tank don't mean you're going to get the right player that's going to fit the system and all that. Like, usually bad situations, bad organizations get players and they usually don't rock with them. Like, that's usually the way it is when you got a bad organization. So I don't think you really got to do much about it. I think it's other situations and other issues I would think about before I eat the All-Star game tanking.
I agree with both y'all. See, what if this is probably the closest to not tanking that we're gonna get, bro, as far as the play-in or whatever. That's as closest to solving the tanking problem or whatever. Like I said, on the surface, it sounds pretty interesting, bro. You know what I'm saying? You want them teams like Washington, who has the highest chance to get the number one pick. You lose this, what you call it, Freezie, the lottery tournament.
Yeah, you lose the lottery tournament.
You don't get the pick or whatever. So like I said, it's interesting on the surface, but I agree with y'all. I just want to kind of get y'all opinion on that. I kind of thought that was interesting, bro. I was like, dang, if you had a lottery tournament or whatever.
It is interesting though.
That's pretty interesting, bro.
Yeah.
But
I was playing.
Yeah, the worst version.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you'll get 30 or 29 playing each other. Right. But yeah, I just want to get y'all a quick opinion on that, man. We can go on to the next thing here, man. What was that brought to you by, King?
Fanatics. This I Was Told segment is brought to you by the folks over at Fanatics. Fanatics is the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love the most, including WWE. You can earn fan cash to redeem them in your orders, jersey protection for when your favorite player is traded or changes teams. They also have an unrivaled selection of authentic fan gear and Fanatics exclusives that are only available on the site. So if you need some merch and are interested in helping the channel, scan the QR code on the screen or follow the link, which is always in the description.
Bro. Yes, sir.
I already see. I just see some of the thumbnails. You better get us in trouble today. I already
yes,
see
sir.
Some of these questions.
Yes. King, you gonna have no choice but to choose between this or that, King. All right, that's what you got to do. So check it out, man. This or that, y'all. You ready? Yeah. Look at you. Oh. Listen, I gotta choose, man. Which center is better, y'all? R.I.P. Dikembe Mutombo or Alonzo Mourning, the Georgetown boys.
You want me to go first, or
who you got? For the guest speak first. Who you got, Freezie?
Mutombo.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh.
I'm not mad at you. I'm gonna go Mourning. With a U, bro. But I'm gonna go Mourning.
Yeah. Why are you picking Mutombo, Freezie?
Dikembe Mutombo was more impactful. In my mind, Alonzo Mourning, while he won a championship, is a great guy, hard worker. To me, he's a high-level NBA player. Right. So that's about it. You know, I think he's a franchise all-star, but I think that's it. And the reason why I take Mutombo is Mutombo he basically played a generation level of defense. Right, he played a generational level of defense. He went when the NBA was transitioning from big men in the post, just big men working in the post. Mutombo transitioned from in theory, the Hakeem Olajuwon big men in the post era, all the way through to all these different offenses, the Phoenix Suns, Sacramento Kings type offenses, and he was still a very good defender. People forget that Dikembe Mutombo was Yao Ming's backup at one point. Like he played so long in the league that he transitioned and still brought a high level of defense, not just because he was just an elite shot blocker, but he may have been a top 10 defender at his position all time. I don't know how many Defensive Player of the Year awards he won. But what I can say is when he showed up, your defense got better. Whereas Alonzo Mourning was a tough guy, big man that can shoot mid-range, rebound at a decent clip, culture setter, things of that sort. I don't think Alonzo Mourning is special, so to speak.
Freezie, I'm gonna ask you a question. Are you saying this because he's part of your arch rivals?
I was gonna say that as far as
because he's what? I'm sorry.
He's part of your arch rivals. He played for the Heat.
No, I don't care nothing about. No. This is all about giving that one player his praise, giving Mutombo his praise. And so
it got nothing to do with Van Gundy wrapping the leg and nothing, right? He was dragging him on his leg, right? When in that little brawl y'all had, you won then because of that, right?
No, this is all about answering the question: who is better, right? That's just it. If it's just who is a better player, I'm thinking who's more impactful, meaning better. I'm just gonna say
either way, like whatever your definition is,
whatever it is.
Yeah. What about you, King?
I'm going. You ain't even answer the question. I guess you're gonna wait for us and be like the.
Well, no, I'm trying to decision maker. Yeah,
we trying to sway you to decide who you gonna pick, but
I got my pick.
I'm going with Alonzo Mourning. I went with Alonzo Mourning. I do believe Mutombo is like at the higher echelon of defensive player as far as a position, but I feel like the next level underneath of that, away from that defensive player of the year guy, is probably Alonzo Mourning. As far as that level of like defender, I think he was at the center position. I think he's a better offensive player. I think that's by far. I remember he came in. We were talking about his second place in '99 when y'all went to the finals. Freezie, he was second place in MVP to Karl Malone that year. I think really because of the kidney situation, it really took away from his career. Like he was really becoming that dude and all that on that level. I know he had his beef with Larry Johnson. He's been the catalyst for like a couple 60-win teams, I feel like, in his career. And he was the backup to Shaq when they won the championship. He actually was producing good minutes and all when he returned from the kidney situation. So Dikembe, shout out to Dikembe. Like he was the dude, he defensive machine. He is that guy. But I'm picking all around center. I think I'm just going with Alonzo Mourning. And he got a chip.
Yeah.
Dikembe didn't get the chip either.
Yeah, I'm picking Mourning too, man. For the reasons that King listed off. Like you said, he was a second in MVP voting in '99 behind Karl Malone. The fact that he has a all-around game, because it's not like he a slouch on defense. Like Alonzo Mourning is a great defender.
Yeah.
I remember when he went to New Jersey, like King said, then he had that heart complication. That's what happened. Yeah.
Was it heart or was it his kidney or something? I thought it was. I don't know. Either way, it was one of the two.
Yeah, one of them. Because I remember Dallas was trying to get him. And then when he came, he was talking about coming back, after he had his surgery and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to come back. And then when he did, he ended up going back to Miami. So, but Alonzo Mourning, bro. I got Alonzo on that one. All right, man. This is a debate that I saw online, I think yesterday, want to get y'all opinion on this right here. You got Ant Edwards and D Wade, man. Somebody said Ant Edwards is better than D Wade right now.
I think this is unanimous. I don't think I'm asking this question. Freezie?
Man,
you gonna say something wild, Freezie? Making sure?
Y'all serious? Man, this is not even, come on, man. This
okay, just making sure. Okay.
This can't even be real life, bro. Anthony Edwards by far is better than D Wade, bro.
I know.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. Come on, man. It's not even what are we even talking about?
We're not talking anymore, man.
And what are we talking about, man? Come on.
You know what? I'm gonna give them props on this one. At least they went down. Remember, it was Jordan. I don't know if it was on Kobe's level yet. Now it's on D Wade's level. Come on, bro. What are we doing?
May I explain? May I explain? Just
please, sir. Please.
All right. So the thing is with Anthony Edwards being his age, right? When Dwayne Wade was Anthony Edwards' age, he was 1 year out of Marquette, right? Mm-hmm. Anthony Edwards has already added so much to his game.
Oh, does Anthony Edwards? I keep feel like I still make him younger.
I'm not saying that Dwayne Wade is not a great player. Dwayne Wade is probably a top 12 shooting guard of all time, depending wherever you want to rank him. I don't care where you rank him at, right? As long as it's not Jordan, you can rank him 2 through 12 and what order. I don't care, right? What I'm saying is Anthony Edwards went to the worst organization in basketball. We know that. They're the worst organization in basketball. They always mess stuff up. If you've been a fan of the NBA for 20 years, mm-hmm. right? Like if you remember Dirk Nowitzki, right? If you remember Dirk, Paul Pierce, they were messing up the Timberwolves all the way back then. They never get it right. And despite that, this dude has added playmaking, facilitation to his game. He's added defense to his game. And he's added a jumper already, the 3-point shot to his game already. And in year one, Dwayne Wade's rookie year, he had none of this. And so if we're talking about where they are right now in their primes, I don't think Anthony Edwards has hit his prime yet. So I can't compare his prime to D Wade's prime. But if we're talking about Anthony Edwards, the player, versus D Wade, the player, and impact, without Anthony Edwards, the Timberwolves would probably have Wemby right now. They probably have Wemby and be looking at getting Cooper Flag. That's how bad the organization is. Anthony Edwards is probably going to be the greatest guard of this generation. And I can't say the same thing about D Wade being the greatest guard of his generation, because there were guards in his generation, and I can name them, but there were guards in his generation that you could say honestly say were better than him.
Go ahead, King. What you got?
My turn. Okay. There's only one guard in D Wade's generation that's better than D Wade, and that's Kobe Bryant.
I was just about to say that.
There's no other guard in that generation that's better than Dwayne Wade. There's not. Dwayne Wade, when he first started in the league, he was a point guard as well. Then he had to go to the 2 guard position. So he was a guy that was able to facilitate and do a whole bunch of everything. Dwayne Wade leads as far as the guard position, he's number 1 in blocks per game. Talking about defense and all that stuff over Jordan and all that. Number 1 in dunks as far as athleticism stuff he does with that. He led the league in scoring before, finals MVP. Before LeBron James is by 2006. Multiple times he's came in top 5 in MVP, just in general MVP. Some people said he could have won it that year. He led the league in scoring. It's not even a conversation to me, man. I love Ant.
Hold on. He led the league in what, King?
In scoring.
Gotcha.
I love Ant, but bro, they gonna keep lowering the bar. I told you, Ant to me is Vince Carter 2.0. That's what I think he is. A little bit more defensively. I laugh at it. He ain't do nothing more special than him. Dwayne Wade is because only reason he not seen as a higher level, being on that Jordan level and all that, is because he's 6'4". That's it. That's how I feel about Dwayne Wade.
I'm baffled that y'all would say Dwayne Wade was better than Tracy McGrady in his prime, and James Harden and Russell Westbrook, who also played during Dwayne Wade's career.
Freezie. Way better than Westbrook, bro.
Freezie, there's more than just a regular season. There's a playoffs, and Dwayne Wade has outperformed all of them in the regular season as well.
Right. Organizations win championships.
That's so we're faulting people for being on a different organization, and it was a reason why Miami had the 3rd pick that year. The Timberwolves didn't.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying there was a reason in 2003 that Miami had the 3rd pick, right?
The 5th pick, but they were trash.
Yes.
They were trash. Right, I got you.
Right.
I'm with you.
Okay.
You saw the 3 on his jersey where you said 3rd pick.
I'm thinking of Jordan.
No, I understand the point. I understand the point where King was going.
Listen, bro,
he was at the Bosch. I'm sorry.
Listen, the D Wade disrespect got to stop, bro. It's been this whole little movement online of disrespecting D Wade, bro. Lately, I don't know why. I mean, it's getting crazy, but no, I'm taking D Wade. Listen, bro. I'm just glad. One thing I am glad is that they finally moved down the pecking order now for Ant, because it was Jordan and Ant at one point. Like I said, I don't even know if it was. I'm surprised I ain't heard Ant and Kobe yet. It's probably out there somewhere. You probably ain't heard it, and now it's Ant and D Wade, bro. Like, come on, man. It's to the point like D Wade is literally what the 3rd best. A lot of people say he's the 3rd best shooting guard of all time.
I think he's the 3rd best. I think he's the 3rd best shooting guard of all time.
I think y'all
so, that's a bar.
I mean,
that's the bar.
Bro, I saw 2006 happen, and 2006 is one of the greatest finals performances of all time, whether you like it or not. And that happened, and that guy was his 3rd year in his career. So I remember those points.
I remember that.
That was Dwayne Wade before the injuries and all happened. And even the year we played them in 2011, Brown wasn't the best player. Technically, if you want to go by scoring and all, the best player on the court was Dwayne Wade.
D-Wade. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, no, I agree with what King is saying about that point. The 3rd best shooting guard ever is crazy. Until when they take Dwayne Wade's silhouette and make it the NBA logo, then he'll be the 3rd best shooting guard of all time.
Get out of here.
Whoever this is the logo, I don't even know his name, but whoever the logo is for the NBA, he's the 3rd best shooting guard of all time.
Freezie, are you really saying? Dang, I feel like we're gonna be disrespecting this dude. Are you really saying Jerry West is the 3rd best shooting guard of all time?
I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's not blasphemous. Like, he up there. He's top 5. But
I ain't saying he's not up there. But
he won.
3.
He won in what? What's that? 1-9 in the
1-9.
finals. I'm not even saying 1-9 in the finals is a bad thing. He made it over and over. The reason he's the silhouette, man, is because he was already the silhouette. Like, you feel me? Like, they can't give anybody else. They can't give it to Jordan. Anybody. It's just It's Jerry West. Like, that's not because he better than Dwayne Wade, though.
I feel like anybody over 50 is feeling very disrespected by that comment.
All right, that's fine. They can feel disrespected. That guy,
anybody over 50 is feeling like
that guy got 3 and he got 1 Finals MVP.
Yeah, man.
Check this out, fellas.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, no, I'm gonna say this is the next one right here. Freezie man right here. You just talk about you got better. Who's a better defender, man? Dennis Rodman or Big Ben, man? Ben Wallace.
The question, not better player, is better defender.
Better defender?
Better defender, bro.
That's still an easy answer for me.
Yeah, that's easy too. Yeah.
Freezie about to say something.
Easy.
Yeah, that's easy. Go ahead, Freezie. Who the better defender, Freezie?
Who got
Rodman?
Okay.
Rodman. What are we talking? This dude could guard 5. This dude in his prime was guarding 5 positions at the elite. He was such a good defender that we forget how good Alvin Robertson and Scottie Pippen were as defenders, bro. Like Alvin Robertson was probably the greatest on ball outside of Clyde Frazier. He probably the greatest on ball guard ever outside of Clyde Frazier and maybe outside of Gary Payton, right? But
so why you say Derek Harper, Freezie?
Because it could respectfully, I ain't want to cuss on y'all show.
Derek Harper, you got some other guys, John Stockton.
I just want to see Freezie get mad, bro.
John Stockton.
I said Derek Harper, bro.
Derek Harper showed up in New York with a dad bod, bro. How you got a dad bod, bro? You're a professional NBA player, man. I understand you were hurt. I understand he was hurt, bro. I do.
He was hurt, bro. Come on, he had a leg injury, bro. Come on, Freezie. He got his compassion.
That dude showed up in New York looking like Damon Wayans, bro.
What about Sidney Moncrief?
Not. Talking about on Rodman level?
I'm talking about defender. We talking about a guard. You talking about a guard defender and all, just a man up. You said one of the greatest as far as like Gary Payton and all of them.
In my opinion, the greatest defensive guards are Clyde Frazier, number 1, right? Joe Dumars from the Detroit Pistons.
Shout out Joe.
Yep, Alvin Robinson and Gary Payton. Now, am I saying that there were not other great guards?
No.
Yes, there were other great guards, but when you're talking about guards that legit did it at the highest level at every level, right? We're talking about championship level defensive guards, right? Joe Dumars, Gary Payton, Alvin Robertson, and Clyde Frazier. Yeah. You really don't. You got a game plan for them, bro. You legit have to run your offense with them in mind.
Is Clyde over GP because he a New Yorker?
No.
Okay.
No, it's Clyde. It's Clyde over GP because Clyde was the blueprint for GP in a sense.
Understand?
In a sense, he was the blueprint, right? And it's not fair to Gary Payton to say that Clyde is better than him because they never played against each other and they played 2 generations apart, right? But what I remember from from Gary Payton's era is cats like Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, and all types of great wing defenders would come up and guard guards during the era. They started that thing back when Clyde played. It was mano a mano, right? Like if you were a guard, you were being guarded by a guard, right?
Right.
And then but as we got further away from that, then others. So respectfully, all of them were great. I just think Clyde is the blueprint, the 6'5" guard that was the glove of the 60s
before the glove.
Before the glove. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that either, bro. That's a pretty interesting pick. But see, we all got Robin on that one.
Oh, so you picking Robin too, bro? You ain't picking.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like he said, he guarded 1 through 5.
Bro, Robin
We've
got
seen it.
6.
Because I was going to say, think about this. He was better than Horace Grant.
Yeah,
that was a huge upgrade. Remember that first 3? Yeah, Horace Grant. Second 3, you had Rodman. That defense was stupid. Right, Rodman got there, and there's no disrespect. Horace Grant was a very good defender back in the day, but Rodman took it to a whole another level. Like you said, that's a That's generational talent on defense, bro, and rebounding. So
that's after Rodman was winning Defensive Player of the Years.
Yeah.
I don't think Rodman made the All-Star game in Chicago, did he?
I'm
I
not
think he did
sure.
1 year.
I don't
The
think he
first year, I
did.
thought.
I don't think he did, but he might have. I don't think he did.
There were other great defenders too. Just want to shout out cats
No.
like Sean Marion
Yeah,
and dudes like that that fly under the radar.
Yeah, Tim Duncan never won
Yeah,
a Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Sean should have been on somebody's defensive team. I still cannot figure that part out, bro.
Yeah.
Still can't figure that part out.
Tim Duncan should have won a DPOI. I still don't figure that one out.
Yeah, Scottie Pippen should have won one.
Scottie Pippen should have won one.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
But so this debate came up here. I think King sent this to me or somebody sent it to me. I forgot who it was. But check this one out, y'all.
I feel like Freezie about to be the oddball on this one. I don't know why I feel.
Go ahead, Freezie.
Man, come on, man. This ain't even a question. It's Shaq. Shaq is the better center.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
All right, Freezie. All right. Freezie,
Now-
you wildin'. It's the Joker.
So, but here's the thing. See, I'm taking Joker just by the slimmest of margins, right?
I knew you were gonna take Joker.
I'm sorry. I'm taking Shaq by the slimmest of margins, and this is why, right? I think Joker is probably gonna go down as the greatest center to ever play, and possibly the greatest player to ever play, right? But we hadn't seen the last 5, 6, 7 years of his career, right? If he's averaging a triple-double at center and this team is competitive for like the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years of his career, then I'll say Joker. But the reason why I take Shaq is because legitimately teams had to come up with an offensive system on draft day to defend Shaq. Like front offices legitimately drafted dudes like Todd McCullough, right? Like Gert Hamnick, like names y'all never even heard of before, right? Because Shaq legitimately was 7'1", 325 pounds, mobile, agile, and super strong, right? It's kind of like how teams are doing Wemby right now. Almost. Wemby ain't there yet. But legitimately, on draft day, teams are like, do we draft a backup point guard or do we get a fourth big man to try to stop Shaq? That was the thinking back then. The Knicks did it. The Mavericks did it. Everybody was doing it. Drafting big men, like third and fourth big men, because Shaq was going to get your primary guy in foul trouble. Right, you legitimately have never heard the term hack a joker, right? And it might be because he can shoot free throws. But and the other thing too is you can say what you want to say about Shaq during the regular season, but when game 83 get here, when the playoffs start, Shaq was probably the best center of all time in the playoffs. I think Shaq has 4 rings. Right, and he earned all of those. Now, Joker, Denver might be on the way to get. I doubt it, right? But I got to give it to Shaq by the slimmest. I got to listen. The margin is so thin you can't swipe a credit card through it, right? I want to say Joker, but you got to give Shaq credit for his playoff record. You got to give Shaq his. I think Shaq has 4 rings, right?
Yep.
Like 3 with the Lakers and 2
with the Heat.
Yeah. You got to give Shaq credit, man, because he legitimately changed the game. Just imagine if before Shaq, centers looked a certain way, right? After Shaq, the whole league changed.
Yep.
Yeah. What you got, King?
It's so close that if I had to make the selection 100 times, I'm choosing Shaq 100 times. Not Joker, not one time. I'm not choosing the Joker. Playoffs matter. This dude ain't beat a 50-win team yet. He ain't beat a 60-win team yet. His numbers seem to go down a little bit in the playoffs. I'm expecting a 30-point triple-double this year. Like, I ain't even trying to destroy the guy, but analytics have helped him a lot. We treat him a different way. He's the king of that right now, so he gets MVPs no matter what happens.
Right.
But yeah, he got to show some more for me. When I watched Shaq play, it was a cheat code.
Yeah.
I thought the Lakers were going to win the championship every year he played,
Yeah.
basically, until he got out of shape and didn't want to play anymore. That's how I felt. And then with Miami, even with Miami, he was dominating that year until the finals. Like that was all his year, basically. Into the
hit
finals.
that wall.
So, yeah, like Shaq is a different beast. Like the Denver Nuggets were supposed to be a dynasty. They don't look like that right now. Like
No.
I need Joker to somehow start winning. Like you got to win more. You can't get all these MVPs with just one championship. Like you said, Shaq got a three-peat. There's only what 1, 2, 3 organizations that got a three-peat, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Shaq one of them. So yeah, bro. I don't think it's even close to, not yet. Like that's no disrespect to Joker. Joker a top 20 player in my opinion. Like, he's there right now. He's there.
Yeah.
But Shaq's a top 10 player to me. And it becomes a bit the higher you go up, the bigger the gap becomes. Like you get up there.
Yep.
So that's how I feel.
I 1,000,000% agree with y'all. I'm gonna ask you this question: Had Joker had any type of playoff run that Shaq had back in 2000 or 2001?
No.
Can you guys name me a moment that Joker had in the playoffs?
No.
There you go. Listen, there's a reason why Shaq is the most dominant player in NBA history, bro. Like the dude is dominant. There was a reason why. Like y'all said, you had to game plan not just for within the game, but the way you constructed your team to stop this guy. There's a difference. Like you literally have to construct your team a certain way to stop this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Freezie called Mutombo better earlier. You know what I always say about Mutombo, bro?
Mutombo turned into 6
that year.
Turned into 6 fouls against Shaq.
Into 6 fouls against Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes. Yep. I agree with you, man. But we were talking about better, like person versus person. Right. Just him over Monahan.
It depends. I still think he'll be just a better player, just in general. Like I'm always gonna go. He's the better player. I know that people say 1-on-1 and try to separate it and be like, well, he got more MVPs and all that. The object of the game to me is to like just win. And to win as many times as you can. Shaq should have probably got more MVPs. He didn't. He had voter fatigue, even though he didn't get any. And truthfully, if they go against each other 1-on-1, I'm picking Shaq. I don't think Joker has any chance.
No, he don't stand a chance.
So bro, I don't know.
I was gonna say something.
Joker might be the worst defensive center ever. He probably worse than Cat.
So I'm saying I don't think Shaq. I don't think there's Shaq scoring every time he gets the basketball if they play 1-on-1.
King, you know what too though? Not only did the NBA have to adjust for Shaq, you know who else had to adjust for Shaq? Your arena. When you go to an NBA basketball game right now and look at the stanchion, look at the rim,
because
it looks nothing like it used to look before Shaq.
Yes,
I used to go when I was a kid, used to go to the game. It was a stick back there with a glass backboard and a rim on it. After Shaq, bro, when you look at the stanchion, it's a machine back there. It looked like a robot, bro.
Breakaway rims, bro.
Right. It looked like a transformer arm up there, bro. That's what you got to put up there for Shaq.
If Shaq played the day, the game would just be played differently. Like he just be with all the space and all. There's no way you could let Shaq play in this league. Like it's just too much space. You're talking about just throw the ball to this dude and say move.
Man, Luka would pick and roll Shaq to death. Shaq would be 250 pounds, bro. Luka wear that man out.
And especially if he had Orlando Shaq. Luka had Orlando Shaq.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's
boy. That's one of them. That's NBA Live on rookie mode, bro.
Yeah, that's why they didn't want Giannis to be there with Luka. That was basically Penny and Shaq 2.0 on offense.
That would have been stupid, bro. That would have been stupid. But yeah, check this out, man. We just talked about one of you guys. Who's a better perimeter defender? Scottie Pippen or Kawhi?
Oh, why you do this?
Yeah.
I don't even want to answer this one, but I got to. Go ahead, Freezie.
Who you got, Freezie?
This is easy, man. It's
Here we
Pippen.
go.
It's Pippen.
Oh, okay.
Right. It's Pippen. Because Scottie Pippen defended 100% of the time. Right. He was always defending on the perimeter. And Kawhi, and the thing about Kawhi, I'm not gonna say knock that man's defense, but I will say this. Y'all notice everywhere Kawhi Leonard go, he has an elite defender with him in tandem. In San Antonio, it was Bruce Bowen. In Toronto, it was OG Anunoby. and in LA, it was supposedly Paul George, right? But the thing about Scotty is Scotty was playing next to the greatest player of all time, who was also a good defender, right? I mean, Mike got a lot of defensive love, but we saw Mike got those Kobe defensive honors.
Listen, bro, you gotta take your Knicks here.
I'm about to throw this computer. This is crazy.
What?
This is Michael Jordan is a good defender.
Michael Jordan is a good defender.
Michael Jordan is one of the greatest defenders of all time.
Michael Jordan was an elite passing lane defender.
Michael Jordan was an elite on-ball defender. You gonna give me the Magic Johnson the one time? That's what everybody gonna say.
No, I know.
Hold up. Who Kobe crossed though before he threw the ball up the Shack?
I don't, man. I can't remember.
It was
might have
Scotty.
been
Scotty.
40-year-old Scotty. That was 40-year-old Scotty.
Okay. It was 40, but I got you.
No. Wait a minute. Hey man, I want to do. How can I be a Knicks hater, praising Scottie Pippen, and saying Michael Jordan was a good defender? I mean, I don't understand how that works.
Because the guy you hating on is the one who's known for cooking y'all.
Scotty is defenders. Come on,
They're
man.
both great defenders, some of the greatest defenders of all time. And that team, Freezie, like talk about just Kawhi. Scotty had Ron Harper beside him. What's his name? We just talked about the guy like
Dennis Rodman.
Jeez, like it wasn't like the team was like trash. He had some of the greatest defenders beside him.
Dennis Rodman showed up in '96, bro.
That's the second three-peat. So they won half of their championships with Dennis Rodman beside him. And then Ron Harper was there as well. And then Scotty was there with Jordan at the beginning and all that. Jordan and Scotty were the two best wing defenders combo.
Probably. I would agree with that. I agree with you on that. And it's because Scotty could pull the weight defensively and play make while Mike could score and could score and then be the second best defender on defense.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, they pulled him back.
Yeah, you can't be, and this is one of the things I talked to Relle and Demond about a couple of years ago when we did the crossover. It is immensely difficult for an elite player to be the number one scorer and the team's best defender, right? And stay healthy, right?
Yes,
it's difficult. That's the reason why every time somebody talks to me about Jalen Brunson's defense or Luka Doncic's defense, I want to throw them off the planet.
Freezie, right? That's who did it though.
Because when you're an elite offensive hub, all you need is average defenders to go just earn your check.
Who did it though?
And so that's what I'm saying about Scotty. I think the reason why Scotty and Mike are awkward to this day is because every time somebody says Scotty's name, somebody else says Michael Jordan's name, right? Instead of giving Scottie Pippen his flowers, the flowers that he deserved.
Scotty, that dude. I love
Scottie Pippen.
Scotty is that dude, but Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan.
He's the GOAT.
He did MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same year while leading the league in scoring.
Yeah,
he did that. That's what. So like Mike's a different beast. But to answer this question, I'm going Kawhi Leonard, and I don't want to do it because I love Scottie Pippen so much, bro. I love Scottie Pippen, but I think Kawhi Leonard on that short list of maybe top 5 defenders of all time, though. That's how I feel about Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is a monster, and we didn't get to see the complete Kawhi Leonard that we still get. Like he still from time to time turns it on and says him be Kawhi Leonard. When Kawhi Leonard, bro, he won that Finals MVP based off his defense, basically.
Yeah, he did.
He was young. He was how was he? 22 then at that point when he won it?
Yeah.
Won the Finals MVP because of his defense. Like Kawhi, then he won
15. He only averaged like 15 a game.
Only like
14.
He got you multiple Defensive Player of the Years and all that stuff. I'm going Kawhi Leonard, and I don't want again. This is not to diminish Scottie Pippen because Scottie Pippen again.
Scottie should have won some
Defensive Player of the Year.
He should have got an MVP, and he should have won a Defensive Player of the Year.
I think Kawhi Leonard is the closest thing we've seen to second three-peat Michael Jordan. That's the closest thing we've seen. I think has been Kawhi Leonard. This dude just the other day went in robot mode and missed one shot against what's it called, the Nuggets or whatever like that. This dude is. Sorry.
Joker was a lockdown defender in that game, bro. Don't do that, King. You disrespect the Joker, bro.
Kawhi Leonard is a different mode, man. You see LeBron when Kawhi was coming to the game was yelling on the free throw line in the RF. So
yeah, bro. But here's just a little retort. Early Kawhi was on a defensive team with Tim Duncan, probably the greatest defensive 4 or 5 ever. I'm talking about combo big ever, and the dude with the bow tie. Both of those dudes around Kawhi.
Bruce Bowen? Wasn't Bruce gone by then?
No, Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce went on that. Bruce went on that 14.
I don't think he was on that one.
Okay, well, I retract that last part then.
It was so Kawhi, and my thing is Kawhi. It's about equal. Kawhi plus Tim Duncan is about equal, if not a little worse. That's a hard analogy to Scottie and Jordan though. Like that's the type of level. And by then Duncan was old. You feel me? He was still a defensive anchor and all. No disrespect to him, but he was older. Right. Scottie and Mike ran the place together.
Well, you talking about defensive impact, though. I feel you. I know where you're going because we're talking about defensive impact, not all the other stuff.
Yeah, just defensive as well. Still, Tim Duncan was still.
Because Tim at that time he was using IQ at that time.
Yeah,
he wasn't like his talent. It was
like the
yeah.
He shouldn't have won a defensive player of the year at that point when Kawhi was there. I wouldn't have been like Tim Duncan, defensive player of the year.
Yeah,
but he still was a great defender though, based off his IQ. Tim Duncan, he one of the greatest defenders of all time. But when Scottie and Mike were together, they were running through Team USA and all that stuff, running just saying we can do whatever we want to do because we just in the same time frame or whatever like that. Like that's why I'm going with. Bro, it's a difficult question. I'm not mad. I'm not mad if you pick Scottie, but I think to use Scottie, I think people are going to underrate Kawhi as well. And Kawhi already get underrated enough because he's not going to be on a bunch of lists because of his scoring and all that type of stuff, not winning MVPs and all that. So I'm definitely giving credit on his defense, bro. Like Kawhi is the claw for a reason.
Yeah, I'm not disrespecting Kawhi. Remember, the question is who's better.
I didn't think you would disrespect him. That's what I'm saying. I don't think you disrespect him. I'm fine either way with the answer. I'm just saying I'm going with Kawhi. I'm fine picking Pippen. It's not blasphemous.
Right.
Bro, I don't know who to pick.
I
don't know who to pick, bro. I'm probably gonna lean Pippen, but it ain't like definitive Pippen. Like it's like Freezie was saying, it's like a very, very razor thin margin, bro, between the two. Like it's one of those cases where it's like you put your hand over your face, bro, and just pick one, and you can't go wrong with the pick, bro.
So I'm not mad with either one of these. This is probably the closest question we had so far, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there trying to think like what separates them from each other. Because I know you said Kawhi got the defensive players and all that stuff. Pippen should have got some defensive players, bro.
He should have. I'm not gonna disagree. Bro, Kawhi was stopping dudes. I'm talking about like, and that's not to say like obviously Pippen.
Yeah, I've seen Pippen's defense completely change a series.
I mean, Magic Johnson, ex-Magic Johnson.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Well, there you go.
Ex Kevin Durant and LeBron James, but Kawhi Leonard though, bro. Like you feel like Kawhi different beast, man. It's like I say. Either way, I'm not mad. I'm not mad either way. It's whatever. Coin flip.
It is definitely a coin. That's the biggest coin flip of all time.
Yeah.
Let me know if this is a coin flip, fellas. Who you got? 2000 Blazers or 2002 Kings? Both went 7 with the Lakers, who eventually won a championship. Shout out to Empire Jeff.
Yep. Want me to go first, Freezie?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you already got your answer?
I got my answer.
No, I don't.
Okay, there it is.
I'm gonna go 2002 Kings. I'm gonna go in the hold on. So I think better team 2002 Kings. I think better talent 2000 Blazers.
Okay.
I think the 2000 Blazers, the reason they fell in all is because like bro, they had a lead. They were supposed to win that, and that basically destroyed everything that was done. The Kings got done. Yeah, the Kings were done. I know Jeff was talking before. That wasn't really what destroyed them. When Chris Webber got hurt playing against us, that's what really destroyed the Sacramento Kings. When he tore his knee jumping for the lob or whatever like that, that's when the Kings were like, okay, we're done. So I think the Kings were there and they probably could have won the championship. Blazers, I'm not even sure the Blazers would have won the chip.
So who's that championship?
That was Indiana. Like I'm not
Indiana.
like
No, Philly. Was it Philly?
No, that
No,
was
it was
Indiana.
2001.
It was
Yeah,
Indiana.
it was
2001.
2001.
I think.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Indiana,
Philly to New Jersey, right?
Philly to New Jersey. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my pick. I'm going better team 2002 Kings, better talent 2000 Blazers.
Can't stand you, bro. Go ahead, Freezie.
Okay. So I
I
think
got Freezie thinking now. Go ahead. Freezie.
I think, and y'all pardon me for being human, right? You know, I think I'm a fairly decently smart person, you know, but my heart is telling me that a team full of veterans, all who failed and they previous stops coming together to make one last run at a championship should be the best team. But intellectually, not only was the Sacramento Kings team better, they were better from top to bottom. The front office was better. The coach was better.
Yep.
The players were better. The schemes were better. And the reason why I say intellectually is because when you look at the 2002 Sacramento Kings and look at any team in the NBA right now, that 2002 Sacramento Kings team was the blueprint. Right?
Yep.
A three point guard rotation.
Yep.
Elite wing defenders, athletic guys off the bench, a 4 that can shoot the 3, a 3 that can shoot the 3. Remember, they could put Turkoglu and
Peja
on the floor with Mike Bibby
and Chris Webber, Bobby Jackson,
and
Christie.
So
Vlade Divac.
Yeah, and Vlade. Yeah, bro. And so when you look at that 2002 Sacramento Kings team and look at any team around the NBA right now, you can see that front office was onto something. They were ahead of everybody else, but they just didn't have time to backfill the roster, so to speak. Right? Guys were timing out. Like Vlade was getting older, Chris Webber with the knee. They couldn't pay Turkoglu, and people forget too, they had an athlete off the bench named Gerald Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I told you, Bobby Jackson.
Bobby Jackson, that's right.
Jackson, man. Woo.
A monster. He probably should have been the starter. No disrespect to Bibby, because Bibby was a fantastic NBA point guard. No disrespect to Bibby. But man, bro, when your team is that deep and that talented, they basically, if y'all notice teams now look like the Kings, but they don't look like that Lakers team that beat them. Y'all notice that, right?
They don't have. It's easier to get that team than it is to get Shaq.
Right. And so why not take the easy path though?
Yep. I think they kind of the blueprint for the Suns that came right behind them and all that. Like I felt like Sacramento. I remember them series with Sacramento where they would just score like 130, bro. Like against Dallas, it was just 130 versus 128, something like that. And it was just like it came out to the last shot. They could do whatever offensively, and then like, bro, they just like I said, I think Chris Webber stopped it, and not to knock him like that. And I think Chris Webber even says that himself. I think his knee stopped.
Yeah, if he didn't tear that Achilles, bro, or tear that
knee, ACL. I think we took him. It still took 6 or 7 games to beat him when we beat him, right? With Chris Webber gone. It still was 6, yeah. Like with Chris Webber out the lineup. So
hey, don't forget expansion helped ruin them too. Remember, expansion, they lost Gerald Wallace in the expansion draft.
To the Bobcats,
Yep.
When Chris Webber came back that year, they lost to Minnesota in game 7.
Yeah.
Because Chris Webber was hurt that year. That's the year Minnesota went to the Western Conference Finals. Bro.
That's when they had Brad Miller, though, right?
Yes, they had Brad Miller. That 3 on that shot and all that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Because Brad Miller was nice too.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, where did Vlade go? He retired.
I think he retired after.
They moved him straight into the front office. They moved him straight up.
Yeah, he went straight up there. Yeah.
Crazy. They loved Vlade. Vlade helped revitalize Sacramento. Like he loved Sacramento when nobody else wanted to go there.
They damn near to retire everybody jersey that was on that team.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
They really do.
About in Sacramento.
You said Lois Funderburg too?
Basically, yeah, bro.
and what's the other guy? What's the other power forward? They Lars van der Berg.
Oh man,
Scott Pallett.
Something.
Yeah,
Thompson.
Scott Pollard. Scott
Pallett was there.
Pollard, yeah.
Yep. All different hairstyles and all that stuff before Birdman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. They had a good team, bro. They were gonna win. They really got screwed out of that elbow. Go ahead, Rob.
My bad. My pick. I'm picking the Kings too, bro. No, I was just throwing it out there because the Blazers were considered the deepest team at that time,
right?
And of course,
the Jail Blazers
being the king. Yeah, the Jail Blazers.
Their issue was they didn't want to listen to the vets. They didn't want to listen to the Scotties and the Sabonis's and all that. They wanted
Ruben Patterson.
Yeah, the Ruben Patterson.
Yeah.
His name is not Ruben Patterson, bro. It's Kobe Stopper.
Kobe Stopper.
Bonzi Wells and all that wanted to get there. Rasheed Wallace just getting the most technicals by far, like Rasheed.
Oh,
you know who else was backups on that team? Brian Grant and Jermaine O'Neal.
Brian Grant and Jermaine O'Neal. Yep. That's what Jermaine O'Neal got drafted.
And then he got traded to Indiana for Dale Davis. Yeah.
Man.
And then Brian Grant ended up going to the Lakers. Was that free agency or trade?
He ended up going to Miami first, didn't he?
Miami first, right?
Then he went to the Lakers, I think. Yeah. Because he was the Lakers when Lamar Odom was there, I think.
Yeah, he got traded in that Lamar Odom trade for Shaq.
Yep, there you go. Yep. There you go.
Yep. But all right, man. Check this next one out. We're just talking about him. The player with the biggest mouth in arenas versus T-Mac, man. Who's a better scorer?
This easy, but I want to show respect. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is easy. I want to show respect too.
I was going to say it's T-Mac. It's T-Mac, but Gilbert Arenas was bro. Gilbert Arenas had a run, man. Hibachi and all that, where he was just game winner after game winner, putting up 30. Like he was staying
60 points.
The top three as far as scoring was always LeBron, not LeBron at the top, but Kobe, LeBron, and Gilbert Arenas was usually at the top of the scoring list every year. Once T-Mac started getting hurt in Houston and all that, that became them. But
and T-Mac was still top 5 in scoring.
Yeah, but when T-Mac got to Orlando, scoring was his.
Yeah,
it was his. Like Allen Iverson or T-Mac, that's who it was.
That's true. Right. I'm about to be mad disrespectful. Hey, Rel, I'm gonna be mad disrespectful, but mind you, this is only about this question, right? I want to be invited back, right? But this is only for this question, right?
Okay.
Gilbert Arenas is just a dude, bro. That scoring run, he went on. Dudes do that all the time. A random guard, bro. Midget Isaiah Thomas had the same type run as Gilbert Arenas.
1 year.
Nah, bro. Nah.
Isaiah Thomas scored 29 1 year. Yes. Gilbert Arenas, multiple years of damn near 30 points.
3 years. Yep. I agree with you, bro. But random dudes do this all the time, bro.
Usually 1 year. I'm with you, Freezie. Like I say, it's usually somebody that has that random year. But
y'all said Bradley Beal.
Yeah, Bradley Beal, but not 3 years. You feel like
bro, I got one for you. I got one for you, King. I got Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson not another dude. How you keep disrespecting your own guy?
No, I'm not saying Jalen Brunson is just another dude. I'm saying Gilbert Arenas is just another dude because a lot of dudes do what Gilbert Arenas does. And I named Jalen Brunson as an example of a dude that came off somebody's bench, went to another franchise, right? And became an elite scorer when nobody thought he was any good. When Gilbert Arenas was on Golden State's bench, coming off Golden State bench with Vonteego Cummins, nobody thought Gilbert Arenas was going to be any good.
No, not that good. Even though he was still cooking and all when he got his time. But Jalen Brunson not another dude. So you saying the reason Jalen Brunson became that is because Jalen Brunson not another dude. So
no, that's not
another dude.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, let me phrase it like this. What Gilbert Arenas did is not uncommon, is what I'm saying.
You gave me Jalen Brunson. I feel like that's one of the outliers. Like Jalen Brunson is one of those guys where it's like they didn't think he was as good as he's supposed to be. Like he's the second round pick. That's what would be good.
Like Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah, that's not a usual thing.
Chris Jackson, Abdul Rauf.
They are not. He is not Gilbert Arenas or Jalen Brunson level, man.
I was about to say he. I don't think he averaged 20 points in his career. His high was like 19.
Man.
Yeah, I think you're right.
These dudes get 30.
Yeah, I think you're right.
His nickname was Hibachi.
Just real quick to answer the question though, I think Tracy McGrady, if he stayed healthy, is better than Kobe. That's how great of how I look at T-Mac. I legitimately think Tracy McGrady is the greatest scorer that I've ever seen in my lifetime. Right. And I'm not talking about the dude that takes the most shots, because you could take a ton of shots and score. Yeah. But when I'm talking about scoring package, when I'm talking about
T-Mac, okay,
dribble, jumper, three, all these things, my knock on T-Mac is he wasn't a winner. But if you're talking about just a scoring machine,
just skill,
yep,
T-Mac.
Yep.
Who better? I was going to ask you, KD or T-Mac?
T-Mac is better.
As far as skill, you think T-Mac is better?
Yeah.
Bro, I might be with you. T-Mac is so I think KD is really a shooter that sometimes get asked to score. Like he just shoots efficient, so he gets his 30 or close to 30 because he doesn't have to shoot a bunch of shots. Right. T-Mac is a scorer, bro. Like, let's go blow for blow. Let's go. We putting up the basketball and you score
all levels.
That's T-Mac. Let's go. So I'm with you, bro. Like T-Mac just couldn't. He had that 3-1 lead with Doc and all that, and then he wasn't with Houston. He was hurt. They made it past the first round.
If they had kept that best of 5 in that series, bro,
he won it. That was the first year. Yeah. That was the first year that they switched. The first year.
Yep.
Hey, and you know the other thing people forget is how big of a human being Tracy McGrady is.
Yeah, T-Mac was like 6'8".
Yeah, but I'm talking about in terms of weight. Like he wasn't like the Slim Reaper. Like this dude, he wasn't huge. Like he wasn't brolic. But man, when you see 6'9", 225 jumping out the gym, yo, you know who Vince Carter lost the 2000 dunk contest to? Nobody. Tracy McGrady. You know what I'm saying? I mean, bro.
Freezie, you wildin', man.
Other way around, Freezie. He lost to T-Mac lost to Vince Carter.
And well, that's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant.
T-Mac wasn't in the finals. He wasn't in the finals.
I thought he lost to Tracy McGrady.
Oh, that was Stevie Franchise.
Oh yeah.
That was Stevie Franchise. You're right. That was a great dunk contest. That was Stevie Franchise.
You're right.
Yeah. Hey, cherish that. You're not getting no more like that.
Yeah. But T-Mac though, T-Mac was that dude. Like T-Mac is way more athletic than Kevin Durant. He's way more athletic than Kevin Durant.
I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
Yeah, like and T-Mac, people forget when T-Mac was on Toronto, T-Mac was actually the defender. That's people forget about it when he was beside Vince Carter and all before he went to Orlando when he actually would strap down and play defense. So
when he had Morris Peterson and Jerome Williams.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm down with
Charles Oakley and all them.
I told you T-Mac, bro. T-Mac was that dude. I want them jerseys right there, bro. Again, I want the blue one with the star with the.
Oh my gosh, bro!
Stars that like shimmer when you turn the jersey a different way.
Yeah, and no disrespect to Arenas, by the way, because there are a lot of guys that could score the basketball, like a lot of 6-foot guards that could score, like Hal Greer and a bunch of dudes that could score, right? And so I'm not knocking Gilbert Arenas, but when we're talking about the creme de la creme, and y'all pardon my French because I'm American, I don't speak French, but I heard that somewhere before, right? But when we talk about the creme de la creme, I can't put Arenas in there. I didn't even know his name was Arenas. I thought his name was Arenas.
Yeah, no. So Freezie, no, he's not a top 75 player. You feel me? Like, and T-Mac wasn't either. T-Mac could arguably be a top 75 player. Gilbert Arenas not a top 75.
Longevity, yeah.
And that's no knock to him. Like I said, I want to give him credit for he's an undersized guard. Like you said, it's hard being an undersized guard. But for a second, before the knee injury, before the gun issue, Gilbert Arenas was going head. He was the guy that was in the Eastern Conference with LeBron James. That was going.
He was definitely blackballed out the league. I never thought it was injury. I thought he was blackballed out the league. That's what I thought.
It was injury too, though. He messed his knee.
Yeah, he messed it. Yeah, with Orlando.
He came back with number 9 and all that.
And with Memphis too. I think he played for Memphis
and Orlando. Yep.
And also too, he wore number 9 to distance himself from that H-Z roll because it was tied to the.
Yeah. Even though, I mean, I hate it because it's all like when you hear this story deeper and all, it's like, bro, He was carrying because people was crazy doing. He ain't the only person that was doing stuff, and the guy pulled out on him, and luckily he had one at that point. But
Yeah.
say knucklehead things, and people don't want to go with the whole stories. You know how it is.
And it was the baggy jersey era. It was like a bad look in the NBA.
Yep.
Right. So
it is what it is.
Let's see what we got up next. It's for Freezie right here. Freezie.
Oh, Freezie.
Who was a better New York Knick?
Oh,
who's a better New York Knick?
Freezie. I want to hear what Freezie say.
That's why I picked this. I want to see what he got to say.
I think I know my answer, but I want to know what Freezie gonna say.
This is tremendously difficult because of a couple of reasons.
They pretty much had the same careers for New York.
Well, how we acquired Bernard King, the Knicks traded away my favorite player to get Bernard King. Right. So it's like if you're if your franchise, you're the best player in your franchise at that time, for us it was Michael Ray Richardson. Mm-hmm. And just randomly out the blue, we read the paper and Bernard King is a Knick. And I'm like, yo, Bernard King and Michael Ray Richardson, this is about to be crazy. And then you find out Michael Ray Richardson was in the trade.
You say Anthony Davis?
Mm-hmm. Say what?
Nothing. I'm sorry. I said Anthony Davis. I'm sorry.
Oh man, I ain't talking. Yo, we ain't got time for that, bro.
Freezie. I'm sorry.
But yeah, man. So Bernard King was a great Knick, right? But I'm gonna say this, and y'all read Shakespeare before, but you know how tragedy and Shakespeare lead to triumph. Mm-hmm. If Bernard King never gets hurt, the Knicks never get Pat Ewing. True. Right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like these things, like all these emotions.
Or is that why y'all got Patrick Ewing?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's another story. I could tell the whole. We don't have time for you to tell the whole story, but Carmelo Anthony from day one told everybody behind the scenes he wanted to be a Knick. When you check out his podcast, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, he always wanted to be a Knick. And he was trying to pull the strings to get to New York. Like he always wanted to be here. That was the thing. And so my thing with Melo is I think Melo is a better Knick because of his presence in the city, his overall presence for New York. Like he made us legitimate at a time where our best player was Amari Stoudemire and Ray Felton. Mm-hmm. Right. And no disrespect to Stat, right? But I mean, nobody was looking at New York like they was something. Like Amari Stoudemire and Raymond Felton is y'all best players, right? They looking at us like the little engine that could. But when Melo got there, all of a sudden, you know, people want to sing. People at the Garden singing, "I'm taking out this time to give you a piece." All this stuff is happening in New York because Melo is here. Right, Bernard King played 208 games as a Knick, even though he was there for 5 seasons. Mm. Right, so he basically played 2.5 seasons. He basically played 50% of the games he was there, and we know because he basically blew out his ACL, MCL, and PCL, and all the CLs. Yep. And that was before Rod Woodson got the surgery that cut the timeline to a year. Y'all remember Rod Woodson used to play for the Steelers?
Yeah, you said Barry Sanders.
Yeah,
Barry Sanders made him change positions. Him change positions. That's what you're saying. All right.
Yep.
But you're saying, King.
Yep. But you know when they went to the Super Bowl that year, you know Rod Woodson was standing on the sidelines. Right, he got that innovative surgery where he could be there. Bernard King, it took that man 2 full seasons just to get back on the court, not be good, just to be in the layup line, right? And so the thing is with Bernard King, who was a better Knick? Maybe Bernard King was the better scorer, right? Maybe, but what Carmelo made the Knicks legitimate, and he still makes the Knicks legitimate to this day. So I'm gonna say if we're talking about a better Knick overall, it's Melo.
I'm gonna plead the fifth. I don't think I have a right to talk about this.
Yeah, that's why I gave it to Freezie.
I'm gonna agree with you, Freezie. I'm gonna let you say Melo. I had a question for you though. You brought up some good points. I felt firstly, I remember it's not a question. I remember Stoudemire was cooking before Melo got there. Like he was in the MVP conversation and all that.
Yeah.
But who did y'all get rid of to get Melo? Because I always felt like Melo should have just waited until the off season and got there with y'all instead of letting y'all trade everybody in the middle of the season.
Wilson Chandler,
Gallinari. Say, he might have left and went somewhere else. If he wanted to go to New York, I was always like, well, if he wanted to go there, knew you were gonna go there. Why did you make them trade to get you?
Because the lockout was pending.
That's right. The lockout was pending.
He
just wanted to get his money right
away. And see,
that was 2010.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah. And see, the thing is, he needed to get his money then because he didn't know what the new CBA, what the new CBA was going to do to NBA players' contracts.
Understood.
So we all didn't know
because he messed with LeBron and them too, right? Because that's what they wanted to go because he got it earlier. They were going to set it up where he was going to go with LeBron and them, right?
Yeah.
They were set it up.
They were recruiting him to go. They were recruiting him to go.
Yes, to try to be a free agent at the same time and all that.
Yeah. Because of Olympic Melo, because they played the summer before that in the Olympics, right? But that's the only reason, man. If there was no uncertainty, of course that man would have waited, right?
I really think if he'd have waited, y'all would have been ready, man.
Yeah,
y'all ain't had to trade nothing for Melo, y'all might have been ready.
But would have had depth and everything.
King, here's the thing: what if while he was waiting, the Brooklyn Nets would have traded? Yeah,
I'm with you. I understand. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's still hindsight now that happens. It's just, bro, if that could have happened though, Freezie,
right?
He could have waited. Woo, y'all would have been ready. Man.
I think we'd have been right.
Yeah,
right?
But y'all would have been right.
Yeah, but at the same time, we can't rewrite history. You know what I'm saying? Like I wish we could rewrite history like the night the Sacramento Kings drafted Marvin Bagley #2. I wish we'd have sprinted to the podium. Like, there has been a trade. The New York Knicks have traded with the Atlanta Hawks. You know what I'm saying?
Had that back in the day. Yeah. It's funny Freezie said history, bro. Because this next question that pops up right here. If healthy.
Bro, you asking these wild questions. Some of these is to the extreme, man. This is blasphemy.
Yeah, man.
This is blasphemy, bro.
I definitely want to get your opinion, sir. Because I feel like some hate gonna come out of your heart over here, man. What's up?
Me or Freezie?
You. I feel like you gonna try to get me on this one, bro.
No, bro. I love both of these dudes. Like, bro, these are two of my favorite players ever. Like, I have no problem with your opinion.
I got both of their jerseys. So
I was gonna say, bro, I and Grant Hill, when Jordan was gone, that was the guy that kept me into basketball. You feel me? Like, it was Grant Hill for a second. I was like, bro, I had to find somebody. Grant Hill the guy right now. So, that's stupid, bro. That's dumb. I'm gonna go.
So with some of these, bro, I really had to sit and think. Like, I was trying to give y'all a question that will really make you think, bro. Because I know the first couple of Freezie like, that's easy.
I'm gonna go with Grant. I'm gonna go with Grant because of a couple of things. It's not like I said. This is a difficult question. One, Grant was already a #1. Penny was going for the best #2 in the league for a point. You feel me? Like, that's where he was because he couldn't be Shaq. I don't care. Again, that's where Shaq is a different dude. So Penny's still amazing, but he was the #2. Grant was actually the #1. And like I say, Grant Hill is taller. So over time for it to happen, I think that would have benefited him. I think he really would have been like a LeBron James-ish. Maybe not as much scoring, but really that guy. Bro, but that's difficult because Penny was like all around two. Penny did everything, bro. Like, I'm not mad. That's again where I'm not mad which way you answer. Both of them dudes, I hate that their careers are over. That's two of the biggest what ifs of all time.
Yep.
So I'm not mad either way. I'm gonna go Grant Hill, like I said, with size and all that stuff because of the situation. But I'm not mad if you pick Penny. I'm not.
I think they both the same size though, bro.
They are 6'9". What is it? 6? Well, they are. You're right. Penny was 6'9" or 6'8".
Like 6'7", 6'8".
I thought Grant. You're right. Damn, they're right. Just two different positions. You're right. Woo.
Because I used to play on live back in the day. I used to put Penny at the 3.
Penny is 6'8". Bro, that is crazy. I'm gonna still go Grant Hill. I feel like Grant Hill was a better defender, and even in the long run in his career, at the end and all that stuff, he ended up being a decent defender towards the end. That's there we go. That's gonna be the deciding factor.
I wasn't mad at your answer. I want to say, Penny was my favorite player growing up as a
Penny,
kid.
that dude, bro.
You got me on the him being the number one option compared to number two option. It's not by choice. It just had you know what I'm saying? It's how it ended up being. But
I'm not mad with Penny, bro. I'm not.
I can't answer this one, bro. Who you got, Freezie?
Yeah, what I was gonna say is this, man. If you'd have put Penny versus Grant Hill versus T-Mac up here, I'd have walked out of here, bro. If you'd have put T-Mac on this slide with them two, also, I'd have just jumped out the window, bro.
Is it wrong? That's an easy question for me, though. Is it bad that if you'd have added T-Mac, it got easier for me?
You would say T-Mac?
No, I think they both better than T-Mac. If you got them,
okay,
all time, I think they both better than T-Mac.
Right.
I'm not mad at it or T-Mac and nothing like that. I think T-Mac, like I said, is a ridiculous scorer and all. What these dudes did all around, like these dudes are baby LeBrons, baby Luka. You feel me?
Baby Magic.
Yeah, Magic Johnson, that type of.
He was compared to Magic.
They're complete like controllers of the game. If T-Mac was as good of a playmaker as these guys, they probably got the first round. No disrespect.
Listen, one thing two people don't know about Penny. Penny was a point guard.
Yes, both of them point guards.
I'm not talking about by position. I'm talking about by the definition of a point guard. Like he was a facilitator, bro, at that size.
Yeah.
Like people, man, like you said, King, like I said, you already know he's my favorite player when I was a kid. But like if he had been healthy, man, it's no telling where he would have been in the pecking order, bro, of all time greats, bro. If he had just been healthy. Because he came out the gate giving you 4 and 3 as far as all stars and all NBAs, bro.
Yeah. Bro, it looked like he was about to be better than Magic Johnson. That's what it looked like. Like, because he was the better scorer and all that as far as just doing stuff on the court. So it was like,
remember, him and Shaq was supposed to be Magic Johnson and Kareem 2.0.
Yep, 2.0. That's what it looked like. Yeah. That's why Shaq to this day, people always laugh at him and all, but he say, bro, y'all gonna stop forgetting about Penny. You're like, Penny could have been that dude too if he stayed there and he stayed out.
Yep. Stayed healthy, yep. I think him leaving is the reason why he got hurt. Because he put more on his plate.
Too much. Yep.
Yeah. And then plus the way they managed injuries back then was ridiculous. Like how they managed, they're like, hey man, are you
night and day, Freezie?
Bro? A microfracture was the end of his career. Today, a microfracture is like, all right,
you have to go lay down and come back.
Yeah, come back, go get you back, and all like, okay.
You go to Germany and get the blood platelet thing, and then you back like in a month. But
you say Kobe.
Yeah. And so what I'll say to this is, who's better if healthy? When I look at the slide, I think this is probably the best slide that we saw all night because I think this is controversial in a sense that this slide is you can't quantify it with stats, right? This goes down to basketball philosophy now, right?
That's why I said King got me. He got me when he said the defense and what was the other one you said? He was a number one option compared to number two option. Like those little bit things can kind of edge him a little bit. I give him that.
Right. Like the thing is when you have Grant Hill, right, all of a sudden you don't need a point guard because you can run a 5-out offense with Grant Hill and 3 other ball handlers on the floor, right?
King.
But they're the same height though, Freezie. So it don't even matter. You just one playing a different position.
No, I'm not choosing. I'm not making a choice right now. I'm just saying the philosophy part. Like, but if you're talking about a one-man show dissecting and manipulating a NBA defense all night, that's Penny, right? He gonna manipulate. He gonna make defenders take false steps so that he can throw the lob to Shaq. And if you overcommit, he throwing a pass over that defender to a dude named Dennis Scott in the corner for 3.
And he can guard by point guards.
Yeah, and
he's looking right over him.
Yep. There was so when it comes to either of them, I'm just gonna say the summer of '95 when both of them put out signature shoes, when Grant Hill had the felines and Penny had the Olympic pennies, the one with the 1 cent symbol on the back. But Well, let me say this: if you're not a sneakerhead, then I apologize because you probably don't. Oh, Relle got sneakers in Backham. I just noticed that. I just noticed that. So, but if you're not a sneakerhead, so you might not get where I'm going with it. But if you're think about this,
P-Lot was huge back then.
the best wing tandem, the best young wing tandem in the NBA at this point, right here, was not Jerry Stackhouse and Grant Hill or Penny and Nick Anderson and Dennis Scott.
Yeah, Nick Anderson. Yeah,
it was actually Jim Jackson and Jamal Mashburn, right? In my opinion. But if you're a fan of that team, I can see where you could be envious of Penny Hardaway and Grant Hill. I can see if you're a fan of an up and coming team like the Charlotte Hornets, who at that time had Kendall Gill and Larry Johnson running the fast break in Charlotte, how you legitimately didn't go to no games until they played Orlando, so you could see Penny Hardaway, right? And not only did you go to the game, you wore the Charlotte colorway Penny Hardaways to the game if they had come out. You know what I'm saying?
So, I'll go ahead, Frank. Go ahead.
So what I'll say, in terms of who was better, I'm gonna say Grant Hill was better, just because Grant Hill legitimately stared down all the greats from the 80s and was like, it's my turn. I'm here. Right? Like those dudes, I legitimately saw Mike Jordan walk out on Grant and Grant cross him up and go dunk on Mike at the rim. And Phil Jackson got mad and put Scotty on him, and Grant's crossed up Scotty and then dunked on him at the rim with two hands.
Bro, Grant
right?
Smooth, bro.
You talking about this dude is something different. And I know we talking about it. So we all know this was the attitude era right here, right? You remember how every team had all these different variances of uniforms before teams had just the home and away jerseys? Remember it was the time where it's either white at home and dark on the road, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And so this right here was like the attitude era where all the up and comers were coming into the Shaq era, the Penny era, the Grant Hill era. And I think like a couple of years later, somebody drafted a guard out of Georgetown who completely changed the game.
Bro.
Right.
I got a good analogy for this one though.
Go ahead, bro.
I was just gonna say this like Joker and Luka to me.
Oh dang! You know what I was about to say? I know we got to probably move on, but maybe we was comparing K to the wrong person.
So like Penny, you saying?
Maybe Grant Hill.
Grant Hill, because Penny was like more the fancy guy.
Yeah,
it was like the that's what I'm saying, like the Luka, like as far as doing stuff. Grant Hill was just smooth with it, like just giving you consistent, 22, 7, and 7. Like here you go. It is what it is back then. So. I guess I'm not mad at you, y'all, for real.
And you remember when teams were like, "Oh, you got to be tough." You remember your power forward had to be 6'9", 250, and then Grant Hill come in the game just going by them dudes like they orange cones on the floor.
Yep.
And then now you all of a sudden you drafting like guys you start drafting Euros from other countries because Grant Hill has just showed you that that Terry Catledge and Tree Rollins ain't the wave no more. You got to legit get you international big man out of Wake Forest who know how to do stuff, or draft a guy, a 7 foot tall dude from Germany who is not a center. He coming over here probably as a small forward, but we're gonna make him play power forward because of the NBA game, right? Yeah, and so all that changed with Penny and Grant Hill and them zooming all around the floor, because before this, it was Charles Oakley, Charles Barkley, Rick Mahorn, Bill Laimbeer, Ollie James Donaldson's, Mark West, like all these dudes, big, tough dudes. And then you put these dudes 6'8", got athletic freaks that move like guards. All of a sudden, the game has changed.
Yep.
I agree.
But all right, y'all. Last but not least,
Rob, before you finish, did you make a pick?
I'll probably take Penny just because y'all picked Green Hill.
All right, that's fine. Okay.
Let's check it out, man. Better in-game dunker.
Damn.
Blake Griffin.
Wow.
Shawn Kemp, bro.
This
And
is
this close
By the
enough.
way, I'm getting that jersey, bro. But go ahead.
That's Sean Kemp.
Yes, sir.
yeah,
This one close enough, man. This close.
yeah.
This. Ooh, that's this one. I'm gonna go with Sean Kemp.
For nostalgia reasons.
I don't even know. I can't even lie to you. I was gonna go to Sean Kemp for like the reason, like the one he dapped up. What's his name?
Victor Alexander from the
Was
Golden
it- I
State
don't know.
Why
Warriors.
do I
Gatlin or
keep wanting to
something
say
like
that's
that.
Chris Gatlin? Yeah,
That was Chris Gatlin. Yeah, it was
Gatlin.
No.
Chris Gatlin. Yeah,
It was
Oh, it
Chris
was
Gatlin.
Chris Gatlin.
Yeah, it was Chris
Okay.
Gatlin.
Yeah, that's
So when
Chris
he
Gatlin.
did that one, it's a whole bunch. But bro, Blake Griffin got some nasty dunks, bro. Like when he used to grab people's heads, when he used to grab their head and like, oh
Bro.
my goodness, for Paul Gasol and all them. Blake
Disrespect,
Griffin
bro.
got some nasty dunks, bro. Of course, some windmill alley oops and all that. Oh man, this is difficult again, bro. Because I don't want to disrespect Kemp. I feel like Blake is just more new age. I don't because it makes you
got
it makes
this-
me feel like you're saying Kemp. Just it makes me sound like
Bro,
it makes me feel like I'm saying Kemp trash if I don't say Kemp.
Kemp had a dunk in the game where he cocked it back, right? Legs was in the air, damn near his heel was damn near touching his back.
It is back, yep, and then
Yeah,
dunked
like,
it, yep.
in
Touch
the
his
game.
feet, basically. You are that's bro. That's why I don't want to say one. I don't want to disrespect the other one. But I'm gonna go since I think Sean Kemp's a better basketball player than Griffin all time as far as on that list. I'm gonna give Blake Griffin this one.
Yeah,
I think Blake Griffin was BS on the dunk contest too. I think his dunks were kind of phony. JaVale McGee should have won that one actually.
Yeah,
but different conversation. But I'm gonna give it to Blake Griffin though. Blake Griffin with them, man. Kendrick Perkins, Paul Gasol, all them guys. Bro, Lob City was nasty. And that's not to say that Lob City, that was the original Lob City with Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. But
yeah.
I remember in games, Kemp contorting his body in the air and moving and dunking other guys still in the air and dunking it, bro. In games, bro, like that dude was stupid. I'm picking Kemp on my choice. Who you got, Freezie?
Mad, bro.
I'm gonna pick Sean Kemp also, and the reason why I'm gonna pick Sean Kemp is look at Sean Kemp body type right there, right? Look at Sean Kemp body type, right? You see how thin he looked. He played during an era where Charles Oakley, Michael Cage. All these dudes were like,
who we said Michael Cage. Oh,
yeah, man. These dudes, Buck Williams.
Williams,
yeah, he played in an era where LaSalle Thompson, Dale Davis, right?
Duckworth.
Dudes
he's
were
a better player.
Like, yeah, and the thing about it is you knew Sean Kemp couldn't guard them in the post, but if Sean Kemp got a rebound,
it was over.
You knew Gary Payton was gonna throw that thing in the ceiling. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And so for those so I played high school basketball for one of the most prestigious high schools in the Northeast, right? So I played basketball at Dickinson High School, right? And my coach name was Coach Marcellus, right? And so in game when I played back in the early 80s, they wouldn't let you dunk in a game because it would offset the rim. Remember, schools were poor, right? If you dunk and hung on the rim would be creased. Then you got to stop the game. Somebody come out there with the ladder. You got to do all this stuff, right? We didn't come up in the dunk era. That's why the dunk contest was a treat to us, right? Like just seeing guys just dunk it. That was a treat to us, right? And so when we started seeing real dunks, like fancy dunks, like not 2-pointers. Like you remember how your big man used to get it? He's just put it in the rim. When the only time we used to see lobs, we used to call them alley-oops. The only time you used to see alley-oops was like before the game, right? Or at a charity event or something, right? But I was watching the Seattle Supersonics and the Phoenix Suns. This might have been Gary Payton's rookie season when he was trash. He was trash, but he talked trash, bro. You couldn't get that dude from talking, bro. He thought he was the GOAT. He talked so much, bro. He talked so much. People used to give him bubble gum. Like, hey man, just chew some gum or something. You know what I'm saying? So you can do something with your mouth. Your mouth stay running, bro. But the thing is, he came down, and mind you, this Phoenix Suns team that I'm about to talk to y'all about, was great from like 87 all the way to like 2003, right? They get a loose ball deflection. Kemp picks it up and outlets to Gary Payton, who sprints down the floor, and then he throws it in the ceiling. And I'm like, what the? Boom! It's Sean Kemp from out of nowhere catching the lob. I'm like, wait a minute. He threw the ball the head in the fast break, and then Gary Payton throw it in the ceiling, and the dude way back there is that fast. He's sprinting up the sidelines because he know Gary Payton gonna throw that thing in the ceiling. And he went and got that thing out the ceiling and finished and rolled the rim, coming down, pointing at Gary Payton. And I was like, yo, I like alley-oops now, right? I want to see more alley-oops, right?
Yeah.
And so it made those teams that was off the radar. Remember how regional basketball was back then? Like you might see the Seattle Supersonics one time a year.
Yep.
Yeah, and so it made you want to see them. It made you want to get up and watch the inside stuff on Saturday mornings just to see what teams around the league was doing.
Right. Marvin Shot.
Yeah, and that's because of guys like Sean Kemp. Not that Blake Griffin wasn't amazing. Blake Griffin was an amazing NBA player, right? Amazing NBA player. But bro, nah. It's one thing seeing lobs. It's one thing seeing lobs the first time, and then you just want to see how many bodies Blake Griffin can catch during the season. Yo, who Blake Griffin dunked on last night? That's one thing. But when you've never seen an alley-oop in a game before, bro, and you played basketball,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like a dude, like the other team's power forward is so fast that he threw the ball ahead in the break, and the guard threw the ball in the ceiling over here, and the dude that threw the ball ahead in the break catches the lob and finishes.
Yep, that's crazy. Sean Kemp was a beast.
Yes, bro.
If they didn't have that lockout, man, it'd been a different story, bro.
What would happen, man?
Who would have known? What could have happened?
Yeah,
but yeah, man, those were just a few of the little this and that's, man. I wanted to bring up for y'all, man. See what y'all thought, man.
You did it on purpose.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, I couldn't make it easy, man. Listen, we're gonna turn the page here, fellas. We got one more segment we're gonna get to, man, and you already know what that segment is. I gotta pause. Fellas, I got the jersey on for a reason, okay? The great Larry Bird. For this reason right here. So your boy Lou Will, King's favorite sixth man of the year, says, why is Larry Bird an untouchable in this conversation? Lou Will speaks a massive debate by saying Kawhi Leonard might be ranked higher than Bird on the all-time small forward list. King, take it away.
I don't even know why we're doing this. That's just major pause. I hate the new school because they always try to find a way to discredit the old school, like in extreme ways. Like, so before it was Kevin Durant trying to find a way for him to jump him, and then you feel me, like now it's Kawhi Leonard over Larry Bird. Why are we doing that? Larry Bird at this day and age, I feel like don't need to get put in everybody's top 10 anymore. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. That's disrespect, but we can go ahead and do that. I tell everybody, remind everybody, within a 6-year stretch, Larry Bird was 1.5 in MVP votes, meaning that he was second, then first in a 6-year span. He won 3 back-to-back. There's been, I don't think nobody's done that since him still. Just won 3 in a row. He's won 3 championships with his 2 finals MVPs, and this was the time doing Magic in them. He beat Magic. He still has the highest rated college game in NBA in college history. Stop this. And I love Kawhi Leonard. I just told you earlier that Kawhi to me is the closest to the second half Michael Jordan or whatever. But the guy that was beating Michael Jordan back in the 80s, one of the guys was Larry Bird. The Boston Celtics.
The only great he still ain't beaten the playoffs yet, by the way.
The only great he didn't get a chance to beat was Larry Bird. He couldn't beat them. So shout out to Larry Bird, bro. I think Larry doesn't talk about himself enough. Like Larry Bird to me is, I don't know. I think Larry Bird more skilled than Magic Johnson. That's me personally, as far as on a skill level. But people put him higher because of the longevity and winning more and all that stuff. But as far as on a skill, on their peaks, Larry Bird is that good. Larry Bird is like the only reason he's not the best small forward of all time is because of LeBron James. That's it. Simple as that. And that's all I got to say, bro. Pause on that. That's foolish. Lou Will, you got to be better than that, bro. You're a student in the game as well. You played the game allegedly. He says some crazy stuff all the time. I think he has biases. He does it all the time for the Mavericks and Luka Doncic too, but we're not getting to that.
We already had that conversation.
Yeah.
What you think, Freezie?
I legitimately think if we had a serious conversation about Larry Bird would be in most people's top 4 all time. Right. And so the thing is, because the thing is about basketball, you can do it, but do you know how to do it? Right. Like somebody just mentioned Luka, right? Like Luka knows how to do it, even though he might not be an elite athlete. He knows how to do it. Right. He knows about all these moving bodies, time and score, who's hot, who's not, who's the worst defender, all these things. He's microprocessing all this stuff at the same time, right? And so the thing with Larry Bird is Larry Bird knew how to play basketball. And then when Larry Bird there was a time where you couldn't talk trash to Larry Bird because Larry Bird would go off for like 40, right? Like you say something like, watch yourself, white boy. Larry, wait a minute, who are you talking to now? And Larry Bird would go off and score 18 straight points. And you like, yo, he cheating. No, he ain't cheating, man. This dude is good. You feel me? Like this dude is good. Like the two things that he don't get credit for is elite handle and elite passing for his position. I'm not saying overall, like he's not JoJo White or Kyrie Irving, right? What I'm saying is for his position though.
I think Larry Bird was the second best passer during that time.
Yeah.
Behind Magic Johnson.
Behind Magic, yeah.
There's only Magic Johnson, and then it was Larry Bird. I think the second best passer. And he don't get enough credit for being a good defender.
No, he don't get credit about being an elite. And so I'm going to say this, and there's no disrespect to King's point, but he was an elite team defender, for one. He was a good defender, too. But he was an elite team defender. Like, he would position his man so that his man running straight into Kevin McHale elbows. He out there on the perimeter. He guard them. He backing up off shooters. Like he giving non-shooters space, and the non-shooters want to go by him. But he done at 6'9" with long arms. He backing up. He like, hey, though, you gonna have to take that J, bro. You gonna have to J me up. Like small, like these small high IQ things that you don't see in today's basketball. Like if you can take Larry Bird's basketball IQ and just put it into one team, that team would win the champion, not a player. If you just put it into one team, that team would win the championship because he could do stuff like he could jab step and make you honor the jab step so you can get a J off. And it seems simple, right? But Larry Bird wasn't gonna blow by you. So he used little moves and body tricks and stuff like that. And he mastered the art of this thing called relocation movement shooter.
Yep.
Right. Like you never knew what that was until Larry Bird. Yep. Like Reggie Miller was like screen. Nah, Larry Bird would watch the defender and then relocate based off of what the defender was doing at the same time, knowing where the ball is coming from. So at the same time where his defender is lost, the ball is arriving at the same time.
Yep. Right.
And so he gonna get that J off. And now you're like, yo, this dude is Nightcrawler, bro. You can't guard him. He teleporting out here. And I'm sorry about the MCU reference. I'm an MCU fan, everybody. So if you know what I'm saying, if you don't know anything about
bro, Larry Bird, I think Larry Bird made 3 all defensive teams in his career. I don't think so. And Magic never made one. KD never made any. You feel like There's a bunch of guys that never made any
Hold
at
on,
all. And
KD done made one, even though he was up for one of the defensive players of the year that year. He was with
no,
Golden State.
he wasn't up.
Yeah.
He wanted them. He wanted to be up. Remember, he said, "Recognize my defense." No, I won't be defensive player of the year. He didn't get on the all defensive team.
Nah, I think Iguodala made it off that team, right?
Yeah, Iguodala
Iguodala
made it. And
Like second team or something like that.
And Draymond will make it.
Yeah.
But KD never made the. He got the benefit of being on that team. I mean, has his defense ever looked as good as it looked in Golden State?
Every year.
Okay.
Yeah. Larry Bird was so good, though. Larry Bird was so good.
Larry Bird was one of the most intelligent players. And I don't want to just say intelligence, meaning like, I don't know how his grades were in school and all that. But it was on that basketball court, as far as knowing where the basketball going to be, putting the basketball where it needs to be. Larry Bird, like, I don't think Larry Bird had a weakness in his game. That's how I feel. Like Larry Bird, like I said, he wasn't a weak defender. He's one of the greatest shooters of all time. He's one of the greatest scorers of all time. He's one of the greatest passers of all time. He's a 10 rebound a game guy for his career. Like, I don't know what Larry can't do. His back, he can't do people carpets.
Right, that's
carpet or whatever. Feel me? That's about it. That's what did it.
Larry Bird is so good that he threatened to leave the Boston Celtics and sign with the Indiana Pacers. The year they drafted Reggie Miller, he threatened to leave, and the NBA came up with a rule overnight. They got the entire league on the telephone.
The Bird clause.
Didn't they?
They created they had until 12 o'clock. Larry Bird said this thing at 6 o'clock. And they got the entire league on the phone and passed an NBA rule within 6 hours to keep Larry Bird in Boston. Every time y'all ask somebody, yo, man, nah, man, they can't sign such and such because such and such got the bird rights. It's because of Larry Bird.
It wasn't Jordan versus Magic on them video games. It wasn't Jordan versus Magic on the McDonald's commercial. It was Jordan versus Bird back then and all that. Like, people forget about that. That was straight. Larry Bird was that dude. I always tell that people all the time. Larry Bird, to me, is one of the best. Like, they forget about him. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because he's white or it's just because time and all that. But like,
might be both.
Bird is Larry Bird legit. Like,
I disagree with you on that. I'm gonna tell you. I got a different reason why people forget about Larry Bird. I think the reason why people forget about Larry Bird is because the Celtics had all-time greats at his position after he retired. Right.
True.
Like, they keep filling in that position.
That small forward. You're
all-time greats. So now you like, we know Paul Pierce is not as good as Bird, but Paul Pierce is an all-time
or
great.
Jason Tatum.
Or Jason Tatum. Right.
And they both top 75 players.
Yeah, but then when Jason Tatum gets towards the end of his prime, they're gonna bring in another guy. We don't know who that guy is right now, but that's what Boston does. They constantly fill those positions with guys that are so great that you kind of forget about the guys that come before. Like, before him, for Larry Bird, it was dudes like Tommy Heinsohn and dudes like that people forget that were really, really, really great players. But it's Boston, bro.
I don't want to keep the segment going too long, but they're lucky that it's the Boston Celtics with Larry Bird didn't end up getting Reggie Lewis, or had Reggie Lewis and that happened, and Len Bias. There's two times where they almost where Larry Bird almost had even more help and was going to be going off, but situations occurred though. So, hey.
But they were drafting right because they also drafted D Brown. You remember D Brown?
Yep, D Brown. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were drafting correctly, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Boston had some bad luck, man. Like, Boston could have been even. That was
Nastier.
1 point. Yeah,
they had a dude named Dino Roger that had the back injury. I don't know if y'all remember him or not, but he was kind of like, he reminded you of Isaiah Hartenstein, like a big that can do guard stuff, but was mostly a big though.
You said Tony Petit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that segment was brought to you by what, King?
Playback. Thank you to our friends over at Playback for this segment. Pause. If you're tired of the national media and the annoying ways they sometimes cover sports and other events, give the Glow Sun Production channel on Playback a try. We cover new and old school basketball, wrestling, and geek culture. And just recently, we've added boxing, mixed martial arts, anime, and even video gaming. So if you have time in your busy day, give our channel on Playback a look and check out some of our replays while you're at it. Another special shout out to our favorite at Playback. Back to the show.
Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. We definitely appreciate y'all, man, joining us for another episode of Cap and Crown. Listen, if you're new to the channel, into NBA content, whether it be new or old, please join us here, man, by hitting that subscribe button, and also to everybody hitting those likes tonight, man. Help us get the likes up, man, so that we can build that algorithm up. Also, too, guys, if you guys want to become a member of our channel, simply hit that join button right there next to the subscribe button, man. Become a member. Join us here on Friday mornings, guys, as we have our members only Fridays. And also those perks for this channel also work for the perks on our Playback channel. Also, too, man, follow me on my other channel, because we geeked, man. We talk about all things in the geek culture involving movies and television. We're going to try to get a show in this week. Like I said, I think on our last show, we had a family member who passed. We just got the information on, when the funeral and all that stuff is supposed to go down and awake and everything. So we'll probably have a show tomorrow. I'm going to get with Cuz. If not, it's going to probably be sometime between tomorrow or Saturday. So we'll let y'all know. But just follow us on the channel, man. And y'all definitely be appreciated. Kings, everything else I'm forgetting, man, before we turn it over to Freezie?
Follow me on We Talk Combats here on YouTube. We're trying to get to our first goal of 100 subscribers. We start our first show this upcoming Sunday, probably around 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to recap WrestleMania and every other wrestling, I guess, show that happened this week. Until then, other than that, share, and more share, guys. A like is equivalent of a share. On our way to, I guess, 5K here still as well. But we got to get in the algorithm. Jeez, with y'all help, can't talk. But other than that, thank y'all so much. Another show, I guess, was a long one, but Freezie, let the people know what you do, man, and what it do right now.
I'm gonna say this first. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate the fact that people can get on the internet and have an intellectual conversation and listen to what each other has to say and converse, meaning the exchange of information, right? Thank you to our partner YouTube, who without them, I don't know. I like our channel, Lawrence Tears. It's on its way to 10,000 subscribers. It's a goal I never thought we'd get to, but we're on the way there. Abiding by the YouTube guidelines. Appreciate YouTube for breaking it down for me so I can understand. Salute to the Lawrence Tears family, and salute to basketball lovers everywhere, so that we can continue to have conversations like this that push the game forward globally. King, why you didn't ask me about the combat? I used to box. I boxed for like 15 years.
I ain't know that. My nephew still do box right now. I used to spar with Tank and all that, but I used to do a little boxing myself back in the day, but I ain't know that. That's what's up.
Yeah, man. No doubt.
I'll talk to you. What you know about Mike Tyson?
I don't know about him, but I sparred with Terrell Biggs, though, if you remember who that is.
Hey, I know. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, I went to Terrell Biggs, yeah.
Yeah, I sparred with him when he turned me into a muffin. I had red dots all over my body.
Goodness, I can believe it.
But yeah, let me go to quick shout outs, man, before we roll. Shout out to Big J, man. What up, Big J? Shout out to Blowing Tears Finest, Corey Lee in the building, man. Shout out to Corey Lee, man. Hey, man, shout out to our guy Richard. See little CJ in the building, man. Shout out to him, man. Who else we got in here? I thought I said there he is. I got Empire Jeff, man. Yeah, please go follow Empire Jeff TV, man, here on YouTube, man. He covers all things Lakers and Dodgers, man. So shout out to him. See another name in here I recognize, but yeah, Richard, and then we got we rebranded, definitely rebranded. Appreciate you being here, but yeah, man, that's gonna probably do it for us tonight, man. Like I said, guys, please like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We'll be back here on Monday. Members will be back here on Friday. Y'all can join us here Friday morning, man. Same NBA time, same NBA channel. Cap and Crown.